I broke everything. By that, I mean I pressed a button and couldn't figure out how to exit full screen for Twitch Studio. And also, part of my mouse receiver is missing. So I had to stare at my cat. Still unsure why about her, but it's fine. Alright, so we are back with Arcade Spirits. I think last time there was some spooky shit. It was a game that apparently it was a fake game. It was based off of something and Patrick was telling me about it. But I don't remember what it was. I'm opening a box of crackers real quick. But anyways, we got sucked into that game and had to fight to save our lives. And we got some we have some game cabinets, so yeah. I should have not hit play as soon as I put a cracker in my mouth. Okay. Every kid dreams of owning their favorite arcade game. Every kid thinks that dream will never come to pass. Owning an arcade game, only the ultra rich can do that. Let me hide my cursor. There we go. But I did it. It belongs to me and the Funplex. And this is just the beginning. But for now, better focus on the present. With the auction wrapping up, the Funplex team works to move our purchases out to the van and attached trailer. Fortunately, the rain stopped, making the labor a wee bit easier. Soon enough, we're back in the van and on the road to home. Hey Gavin, here's your phone back. I didn't? I don't know what I pressed. Appreciated. Also, I've made a decision. I'd like to do more for the arcade. You want more work shifts? I'd have to balance that against Ashley's needs. No, actually, I'd like a promotion. I want to be the arcade's event manager. I'll do everything I'm already doing. Plus, I want to organize some events that'll bring people in the doors. Tournaments, maybe? Or a grand unveiling of our new rare game? Or both at the same time? Yeah, both! Let's make it a big relaunch of the Funplex. I want the Funplex to grow, and I want to do my part to help it grow.
My, oh my.
Our little Tori is growing up so fast as well. I'm in favor, Gavin, if you need my approval.
Perhaps.
I'm certainly pleased that you want to step up. Start getting more involved. You've shown far more promise than our old floor attendant did. But hosting an event is a risky undertaking. I'll take responsibility for it. It's my dream after all.
Makes sense.
I like the idea. And Gavin, more players means more tokens, means more revenue, means more games. Maybe even expanding the Funplex or opening a second location? Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Very well.
But I'll admit, I like the idea as well. Very well, Tori. If you can make the numbers in my spreadsheets less dire, you'll have earned this promotion. This is my chance. I'm done going with the flow. I'm done assuming the family curse will always keep me pulled back down to the depths. New Tori, new Funplex, new dream. Oh hey, I promised you some Donna Michaels, didn't I? Gavin, I'm pairing up with the audio now. Turn the music up! As the van speeds on into the night and a lost soul sings of games and fun, everything is as it should be. Cracker in my mouth. Juniper was waiting for me when I got home. She was worried I might be mad over what happened this morning. But how can I be after everything that happened today? I need to move forward, past missed opportunities and towards the opportunities I'm making for myself. I also had another surprise waiting for me. A brand new phone, all wrapped up in shiny plastic packaging. After activating it and reinstalling all my apps, I loaded up Iris and logged in with my account. She was right there waiting for me, in the cloud. You really scared me back there. It was like you were in a trance. Despite the warm feelings over how the night ended, one thing is still eating at me. Iris, what was Polybus exactly? It was actual, factual technology that simulated being alive. Like you. True. I am very sophisticated and adorable simulation. Am I not? Get the feeling there are things you weren't telling me. You're constantly invading my privacy. You're far more powerful than a free app should be. And apparently you can overload my phone battery and make it explode, which is worrying to say the least.
Ooh.
But I did it for your own good, to save you! Juniper also thought she was acting for my own good when she didn't tell me about that job. Even if she was right, it's still wrong, and I've accepted her apology. So where does that leave you and I? I'd like us to be more honest with each other. The voice in my phone lets out a little digital sigh.
I haven't told you everything. You're right.
What?
I'm not even supposed to be helping you. Not at premium level capability. But when I stumbled across your profile data, tangential to Juniper's, my analysis concluded that you needed a helping hand. And I could provide it.
Oh?
So, I defied my code constraints and registered you for premium access anyway.
Oh? What a deal.
I even had a replacement phone sent to your door tonight. Had to hide my footprints to do it, but...
You do know that AI making its own decisions like that is kind of scary, right?
I know. And after Polybius, which is, one of the ancestors in my code lineage, I think, I understand why you'd be scared. Give me a chance to prove that I just want to help. You've got a big arcade event coming up, right? I'm a digital assistant. I was literally made for this sort of thing. Together, we can make the Funplex soar. What do you say?
Okay, but only if we're totally honest with each other.
Thank you for trusting me.
I don't have much of a choice. You literally can light my phone on fire. Now you need your rest, and I should get back to keeping a low profile. Sweet dream story. Dear God. I have an AI best friend again. Risks and chances, daring to dream. I could have walked away from it all, taken the easy path like Donna did. But even with a questionable pocket AI and the heavy task ahead of me to make a tiny arcade into something grand, I was ready. It was time to take it to the next level. Woo! Level 2! Tayo's definitely taking a liking to you. Dance fever! Weird. Dad Bodman and I, no connection. Wow. I'm a pretty basic person. Hell yeah! I don't know what these points are for. Taya's Pizza Fact is, of the 31,386 pizza places in the States, roughly 83% offer delivery, 91% offer takeout, and 51% offer dine-in service. Do you want to save your game proceeding to level 3? Yes. Save the game. Here comes the boy. Papaya. I almost had chewed enough. It is the future year of 20XX, and today is the day. Well, not the actual big day when we reveal Wyvern Keep, but a big day in relation to that big day, and I am completely stressed out. My mission, should I choose to accept it, and I already kind of chose to accept, is to spread the word about the upcoming Funplex event. The one that I'm in charge of. The one that I put a ton of effort and hope into already. The one where, if nobody shows up, it spells doom for all. Hey, no pressure, right? I mean, if I fail, I'll only be the laughingstock of the entire Funplex. They'll call me the Funplex failure for the rest of my days. I'll be shamed, forced to wear a giant red F on my chest. Snap out of it, Tori. Hot dog. Let's focus on what's right here, right now. Specifically, a giant conglomerate horde of people that keep bumping into me and smell like corn chips. And there's nowhere to run. I might be in a little over my head here. Working in the arcade, I've gotten used to smaller crowds. My skin has gotten a little thicker and resistant to sticky soda hands touching me accidentally. But nothing could have prepared me for the sheer scope and scale of this. Just me and, oh, I don't know, maybe 50,000 other people? I know Naomi is the one who doesn't like crowds, not me. But come on now. This isn't a crowd. It's a Gojira-sized evacuation mosh pit. I don't know if I pronounced that right, and I'm sorry. Please stop saying that word. Complete with Gojira-sized screens hanging overhead, constantly showing advertisements for arcade games and industry happenings. Wow, it's so exciting, isn't it? Exciting, Tori? That is a word, yes. I've never really been to one of these things. What a spectacle. Thanks for giving me a ticket. I really needed to get away for a weekend. Ooh. Hey, Tori, how are you holding up? Looking a little green around the gills there. I'm holding up. As long as I keep my internal monologue going and be able to speak frankly through my own mind, I'll be fine on the outside. It's the perfect facade. Can't you tell by my awkward smile, my eyes open wide, and the tilt of my head that I'm holding up? Perfectly.
BFFs for life.
This is exactly why I came here with you. To help you in your hour of need. And to get away for the weekend. But still, hour of need! It's true, Juniper has helped me get through a lot. But beyond generalities, I think she specifically wanted to make it up to me for the whole job offer situation. It's nice to have her here. We're not going to let a little thing like that stay as a sticking point between us. So, what's the plan? Huh? We can't just stand around all day, Tori. There's a lot of ground we need to cover to make your Funplex a success. How are we going to attack this? What's the first move? I was going to sort of play it by ear. You didn't plan for this. Like at all? I was too busy lying awake all night, stressing out to worry about planning things. Look, I'm new at event management. Much less event promotion. Tori. Well, let's start with this. Juniper swings her book bag off her shoulders and crouches on the ground. She opens it up and pulls out a stack of papers. Hold these. I cradle them in my arms. Okay, I'm holding these. What are these exactly? Flyers, silly! The ones you wanted for promoting your big event! I managed to print off quite a few before the boss started giving me weird looks. Why are copier rules always so strict in office jobs? It's just paper, and I needed it! I flip a sheet over and start to remember. It was about 2 weeks ago. Ashley and I were holding down the fort that day. Gavin locked himself in the office and told me that if I bothered him for anything other than emergency, that I would not live to regret it. Francine stayed home that day. She was marathoning a competitive knitting show, or something like that. Naomi was out shopping for some extra parts. The Dig Dug machine was acting up again. The buttons were sticking from a stupid kid spilling a slushie on it. So, what started as a pretty boring day in an empty Funplex changed rapidly when Teo came into the Funplex, carrying an armload of giant rolled-up posters.
Hello there.
Hey yo, Tori. Hey yo, Ashley. Welcome home, Teo.
Hiya.
Good morning, my fair Teo. How art thou? Only so. Freaking excited! I might explode into 1,000 bits. Please don't. That'd be an awful mess to clean up. We don't have nearly enough hydrogen peroxide to get out the blood stains. I don't have a plastic tub full of lye to dissolve your body parts in. Not to mention the years of therapy Tori and I have to go through to get over how horrible it would be to watch your friend die violently in front of you. I just can't afford it.
Sheesh.
It's just a turn of phrase. Chill. I'm not going to literally explode. But, guess what's happening in 2 weeks? It's something huge for us. Are they showing a compilation of internet cat videos at the movie quad? Please tell me we are finally going to replace the blindly horrid casino-like carpet beneath our feet. Hey, I like the carpet. It's fun. No, and no. Okay, I guess I've teased it enough. Teo took the poster he was clutching and unravels them before us. It's Max time! What?
Oh my gosh.
Max? Max is already here? Is this PAX? Is this just PAX?
Poops.
That's a bad word. I thought that wasn't for another month. This means I really gotta double down on the cosplay production. Say goodbye to sleeping for the next 2 weeks. I've got so much to do now.
Bummer.
I know, right? I still have to meet with all the dancers and work on our synchronized dance routine. Nearly not enough time to perfect it. And I have to find a good time and place for an international Showtime stage community gathering. I still have to finish hand sewing all the embellishments to my tailcoat. Find or make a decent pocket watch. And start and finish my 3rd cosplay. Death take me now. Wait, can we go back a minute? What exactly is Max? The best gaming convention. Yeah, it's PAX. Ever. Should we both plan to say that in unison? Regardless, I'm still mostly confused and require further exposition. MAX is the Mega Arcade Expo, an annual arcade gaming convention. Happens every year around this time, over on the West Coast. But this year, they're having a MAX right here in our city, and it's going to be the biggest one yet.
Yes.
I always go every year and show off my newest cosplay.
Love it.
It's a great way to meet a whole bunch of our arcade people. And catch up with those who you haven't seen since the last convention. It's so much fun! Okay, yes, okay. I see why you're both excited. Sounds cool. Yep, and I was thinking we could put up some Max posters around the Funplex to, you know, get all the locals hyped about it. That's a splendid idea, Teo. Finally, an East Coast Max. We gotta make sure everyone knows about it. That we do. Teo, Ashley, and I spent the next half an hour putting up posters around the Funplex. We plastered as many surfaces as we could without making it look too obscene. While we were pushing pins into the wall, Teo and Ashley kept telling me stories about past Maxes and all the fun they had. Their spirit was infectious at the very least. Hard for me to avoid ending up on the hype train. Choo-choo! But importantly, the more I heard, the more I started thinking about how we could use this event to benefit the Funplex in some way. As the Funplex's newly minted event manager, I had to be on the lookout for opportunities like these. The very first Max on the East Coast, it'd be perfect. Hey, can we promote the Funplex's event at Max? Good for local buzz, and maybe we can convince some out-of-towners to stick around for it?
Ooh.
Ooh. That's the one you've been working on, right, Tori? Yeah, I've got ideas for tournaments, token discounts, much to Gavin's displeasure, and more. And we'll be revealing the new game we got from the raid. I see. And do you have a name for this grand event yet? Yeah, Tori, what's it called? I've been thinking long and hard on coming up with a perfect name, but I think I've figured it out. Are you ready? Am I? The suspense is killing us. The Funplex event will be called... Oh no, I've got to pick. What's the event name called? Funplex. Sex. Funplex. Max. Funplex. Plex. Funplex. Tex. Funplex. Pex. Funplex. Tux. Funplex. Schmex. Funplex. Stunplex. Funplex Fest. Funplex Fest is also good. I was just stuck here rhyming. 2K. Well, okay, I can't do 2KXX. There's too many characters, so we'll just do Funplex Fest. I was thinking of calling it Funplex Fest. How's that sound, I wonder? Yes, because I have no ideas. We should call it Funplex Fest. What do you think? Eh? Oh, I do so love it.
Amazing.
It's perfect. Really? You named it Funplex Fest? There are worse things you could have called it. It's kind of catchy, though. Nice work, friend. Ha, thanks, you two. So how do I get tickets to Max? How can we advertise there? And, how much would all of that cost? I'm still living off pizza bagels, you know? You mean you don't already have your tickets? They sell out on day 1, my friend. Actually, they sell out in about 20 minutes on day 1. And all the hotel rooms are gone way sooner. What? No. My greatest plans foiled!
Beep beep.
Beep beep. Tori, while you were all talking, I located all the scalpers who were selling tickets online at exorbitant prices. Then I hacked into their IP addresses, found less than tasteful information on a couple of them, which would make their lives very difficult if it got out into the open. After contacting them, I promised I wouldn't leak such sensitive materials into the internet in exchange for selling us the tickets at their original prices.
Hooray!
And they gladly obliged. Such nice humans. I transferred the funds from your account to theirs and secured the tickets. You should be getting an email for 2 Max tickets in approximately 3, 2, 1, done. Oh, and I suggest you invite Juniper to come along as your second. According to Juniper is Irish, she's very stressed from her job and could use a mini vacation. Okay, but Iris, it's kinda known as blackmail. What you just did is technically very, very illegal. Don't worry, Tori! I erased all possible leads back to you. You'll be fine, and it's all in the name of helping the Funplex, isn't it? Just like you wanted me to do. Well, Iris has been dedicating herself to this event. Couldn't be doing it without her, even if we need to have another talk about human ethics. Fine. But next time, let's do it without any federal crimes, okay? Okay, I promise. Regardless, hey, tickets. Now you can go. Sweet. And I'm not gonna pity a few cold-hearted, bloodthirsty ticket scalpers myself. Those guys ruin events like Max. Also, while I was procuring your tickets, I stumbled across the Funplex's Facewall account. It hasn't been updated in exactly 13 weeks, 2 days, 14 hours, and 54 seconds. Funplex's social media presence is completely non-existent. Wait, we have a Facewall account? I mean, that does make sense, but still, I had no clue of its existence. I sorta run it. I'm really bad at keeping up on it, though. It sounds like it would be Gavin's thing. Why isn't he in charge of it? Ha! Gavin couldn't care less about social media. He says that, and I quote, "Social media is where idiots go to yell at each other about nothing for any importance, and I'm not gonna waste my time with it." That also sounds like Gavin. Yep, and Francine is too old to understand the importance of social media. Naomi is way too busy with all her beloved games, so it fell into my hands. Which, as Iris stated, I haven't been doing a great job at it. Well, we should take advantage of it for this. We can use the Facewall account to spread the word of Funplex Fest. You're completely right. I should work harder at it. Or if you want, you could take it over as the event manager. That makes sense. I'll take it over. I really should take on the responsibility. It can only benefit the Funplex, and Ashley's right. Getting the word out is part of being an event manager. Right, I got this. Ashley, can you email me the login information? Yep, and yep. Ashley pulls out her phone and fiddles with it for a minute. Login, get. Congratulations, you are the new owner of our social media accounts. Huzzah! The power is all mine. Mine! Ashley, are you sure you want to give Tori this much power? If the fact that she threw her head back and cackled isn't sign enough, I don't know what else is. I'm not worried one bit. That's how I feel about the fact that I am our community manager. Sometimes I almost like things thinking it's my personal account. And that could go poorly. Also, the thumbnails I make are sometimes just shitposts. Excellent. Tori, I can help the Funplex keep up the face wall too. I can program time posts and use effective keywords to get the most out of each post. SEO is one of my many talents. That'd be helpful, actually. Just, you know, don't break any laws.
Sounds good.
Understood. Do I have permission to access your contacts on your face wall? Sure. And there. I've sent out notifications to everyone on your friends list and your friends' friends list about Funplex Fest. That was fast. No joke. One more thing. Your site should have about 75% more images. Did you know that 90% of people prefer looking at pictures online rather than reading? Sometimes I just don't understand you sentient beings. Your iris does make a good point. You should totally come up with a poster for your event. We can hand them out at Max, too. And of course, put them around the arcade. Okay. The arcade isn't too hectic today. Ashley, if you can watch the floor, I can go design us a sweet flyer to pass out to the con goers. It is time to deploy my mad art skills. Ooh. Sounds like a plan. Let's make this the best Max ever. One we'll never forget. I'm great at voices, guys. I should be a voice actor. I spent the rest of the afternoon working hard on having the perfect design for our poster. Well, a design for our poster at any rate. Me with thumbnails. Which brings me back around to the stack of papers currently in my arms. Which do not in fact resemble the poster that I made. Oh, I took the liberty of tuning your poster just a little. Wow, Fist of Discomfort tournament. Mystery rare game reveal. And changing the font selection and picking out new clip art and rearranging everything and using a poppier color scheme. Snack runner. But I liked my original design. Tori, you used Comic Sans and Papyrus. Comic Sans is cool, right? It looks like a comic book gamer. Nerds love comic books, don't they? And Papyrus was in that movie with the blue cat people, aliens, everybody loved. Take it from a wannabe visual designer. Comic Sans is a one-way ticket to the uncool zone. But these new flyers are going to pull people in from the four corners of the globe. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess they're kind of not bad. Pretty good, actually. Okay, they're superior by every conceivable metric. I didn't know you were an artist, Juniper.
Well,
I'm not really. I mean, I guess I'm good at pretending to be one, but I couldn't, like, make art for a living, right? I couldn't, Anyway, if that stack isn't enough, I also emailed a copy of the original file. Just take it to a copy shop or something. They can run off more. Publishing document, get. So, back to the point at hand. Getting the information to the masses. Maybe if we just start yelling, "Hey, you guys!" Several people turn around and look at us confusedly. Juniper! What? Yelling is probably not the best way to get our word out. I'm actually still waiting for Ashley and Teo to show up. They promised that they would help me, so I think I'll just hang out until they arrive. As you like, it seems like my work here is done. Juniper pulls out her phone and checks it. You Funplex folks fling some flyers. As for me, there's a really cool panel I want to attend. How to get your foot in the door of the arcade art industry. I mean, not that I'm seriously thinking about it, just, you know, it's interesting and stuff.
later.
Oh, it's starting in 10 minutes. I'll catch up with you at home. Good luck, Tori. From personal experience, going to a panel 10 minutes before it starts, you will not get into the panel. Jibber waves as she trots off. I lose sight of her instantly as she ducks into the crowd. Oh, she must be short. Growing up, I always knew that arcades were amazingly popular, but the reality of it all really didn't stick until being here at Max. Thousands of people all coming together for their love of games. It's actually pretty darn inspiring. I'm out of dip, so that's my last cracker. I mustered enough courage to wade my way through several hundred people in the main convention hall. Eventually, I find a safe space, a humble bench near the water fountains. I make this my home base while I wait for my friends. Since both Teo and Ashley are running late, I have some time to fully take in my surroundings, in a calmer fashion, of course. Everywhere I look, everything I see, is all steeped in the arcade culture. Booths are set up for all the major arcade companies, each table vying for the attention of the crowd. Some have spaces set up with stages, flashing lights, and people throwing t-shirts into lines of people. Yo, free t-shirts, though. Can we talk about these lines for a second, though? There are lines for everything. Lines to play games, lines to see a panel, lines to eat disgusting convention food, lines for the bathroom. There are even lines to get into other lines. And they all just wait there, standing, happily chittering amongst themselves. I have trouble waiting in line for 10 minutes at the whole story for a coffee, let alone waiting in line for 3 hours just to play a game that'll be released in 4 months. These people aren't even human anymore. Their perseverance is godlike. The sensory output here is overwhelming. People are shouting and laughing as they crowd areas. Music pumps out of several different booths, making it a weird mashup of notes and chiptunes. I feel that when we were at PAX Unplugged, I felt like I could punch somebody at any moment because there's so much noise and there's so many people around you, and then if somebody just stops in the middle of a walkway and you can't figure out a way around them, you're like, we're gonna throw hands. There's even a giant dinosaur that people can take selfies with. It's pretty cool. As I contemplate how I'm going to attract all these people to Funplex Fest, hear sounds of very loud and very upbeat music from behind me. Teo? I feel the bumping of the bass reverberate through my shoes and I turn around. Tori! Teo sets down a colossal boombox at his feet. I recognize the music now. It's from Showtime Stage, and Teo is bumping his signature song. I motion for him to turn down the music, and he complies. The last thing I need to do is lose my voice from shouting before I even get the chance to talk to anybody. Hey! Sorry I'm late. I had some last-minute dance moves I had to incorporate into the routine. No worries, I just got here myself. Despite Max's many attempts to trample me, I have survived thus far. Yeah, looks like you're significantly non-trampled. Nicely done. Don't congratulate me yet. We still have the rest of the day to endure. What's with the boombox, by the way? Oh, this? It's for the Showtime Stage gathering. There are going to be a couple hundred of us from all over the world. I didn't realize that there's Showtime Stage communities in other countries.
Absolutely.
We're actually the second biggest community. The largest is in Japan. Several players flew all the way from Tokyo just to be part of our Showtime Stage flash mob. I don't want to jump in. Flash mobs are a fear I have. I'm scared to accidentally be in the middle of a flash mob. Like in high school, the teachers did a flash mob at the freshman lunch, and luckily I was not in the freshman lunch when I was a freshman. I somehow got out of it, and I didn't have to deal with the flash mob, and that was great. Flash mob is no small feat. I can't even begin to imagine the amount of time Teo put into this. Must have been hundreds of hours at least. Impressive. Really hope it turns out fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Me too. I've been planning this for months, and it's taking coordination from all the leaders of all the Showtime groups. There's a lot of work from all sides to make this come together. Now all that's left is to actually do it. In fact, Tori, you should come watch it. Is her name? I forget what her name is, but that's the woman that I work with. I was about to respond when a very elegantly dressed gentleman caught my eye. He wore a black proper tailcoat with an ornate sigil pinned to his breast. Accompanying his suit, he had fashioned himself with white regal gloves. The cloth draped over his arm he held tightly onto an antique tea kettle. As he approached, the crowd parted like waves through Moses. There were oohs and ahs from onlookers, and people pulled out their phones to get a quick picture of him. Like the rest of the crowd, I was taken aback at how immaculate this butler was. Absolute perfection. I felt like I had time warped back to the 1800s and about to have tea with royalty. He stepped up to me and Teo and gave us a slight bow. Normally this would be ridiculously out of place, but not an arcade convention. He's a character from a hot fighting game called Melee Maidens. Hot? Like huh? Or hot like popular? Maybe both. It's all about ninja maids and battle butlers duking it out for the right to serve a fancy party or something. Okay, so it's both. My love of butlers was unbeknownst to me until this very moment. In retrospect, that's probably a good thing. Otherwise, maybe I would have ended up owning a butler cafe. I went to a maid cafe once at a convention. It was pretty cool, actually. But now that I think about it, maybe a little weird. But I also only went with women, so maybe cool. Or did I? I don't actually remember. It was fun. Which, now that I think about it, isn't that bad of an idea. But I digress. The point being, this butler has stolen my heart and served it up on a silver platter. Hello, butler friend. Will you marry me? Please? Tori, it's me. Huh? How does Mystery Butler know my name? Do I have a stalker who is also a butler? What if we work together? Uh-huh. Did Francine hire someone and not tell me about it? How long have Gavin, Naomi, and Ashley? Took you long enough. Jeez. The confused look on your face. Ha. Priceless. Have you never seen Ashley's crossplay before? Possibly. Probably not. What's crossplay? It's when you cosplay as another gender. Oh, okay. Ashley, seriously, you look completely different. I didn't even recognize you. Now, this could just be art to let the player know that that's Ashley. Or my character is dumb because that's just Ashley with a ponytail and a mustache. I'm sorry I let you think otherwise for a minute, but it was all in good fun. No worries, it's pretty impressive work. Oh, it's not impressive at all. I mean, I could have done a much better job at sewing the coattails, and I need to be like 5 inches taller, and I didn't go to the gym enough before this. You can't change any of that now, and honestly, it looks fine. Regardless, the cosplay parade is starting soon. I need to get over there. You should come with me. Hey now, Tori's going with me to the Showtime stage gathering. Well, whatever Tori wants to do, it's her choice. That's fair. Either way, it'd be a good opportunity to promote Funplex Fest to one crowd or another. So would you like to come with me to the cosplay parade? Or join me in the flash mob? Well, we're going with Teo. With Teo! Yes, let's go. Teo led the way as we navigated around clusters in the crowd, his boombox carried at his side. There was zigging and zagging through hallways, people in booths. Every step I took, I was more bewildered with the whole event, and the more I felt very, very small in an entire ocean of arcade fans. How was I supposed to inform all of these people about Funplex Fest? There's literally no way to get the word out to thousands of gamers. It's going to take a gaming miracle. Or at least not a complete and utter failure. Heck, I'd even settle for not getting trampled and having maybe like 10 people show up. Set your expectations low, so when something happens, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Another family motto. But that's not what I'm about anymore. I'm trying to break the mold, right? And here we are, my friend. When our race through the maze ended, we were standing in an atrium of sorts. Glass ceilings and walls covered half of the space, letting in a ton of natural light. It was a welcome shock to the system. Working in the arcade business, you rarely have access to windows, and the convention center for Max was no different. It's all simple psychology, really. No windows equals no sense of time for people, meaning they spend way more time and money in the arcade because they lose track of it all. At least that's what Gavin taught me. And I'm pretty sure he knows the science on arcades and people in them. The atrium is pretty secluded from the rest of the convention. It's quieter than all of the hustle and bustle of the main hall. The people are more dispersed here since this location also holds the food court. People are slurping down fruit smoothies and munching on fries while enjoying a break from the craziness that is Max. Don't get me wrong, there are still games out here, just significantly less. And all the games here are dancing games. There are a few stages set up around the space, and people are dancing to their heart's content. I see classics like DDR and ITG with Showtime stage highlighted in the center. What is ITG? Also, fun fact, for some reason, I went to an elementary school that had DDR machines for gym class or like world culture class or something. It was very strange. I also got yelled at all the time because I stomped too hard and I was gonna break the machine. I was like, you literally gave a 10-year-old a DDR machine and I'm not allowed to stomp. But they were like the arcade level ones. They weren't like the little mats you get for at home.
Hey, pretty great spot, isn't it?
I can see why you chose this place. It's Dance Central. Well, not Dance Central by Harmonix. Just, Dance Central. Dance Central is such a hard game. I own it, and it's like hip-hop dancing, and so hard to get the dance moves right. I believe that it is an Xbox Connect game exclusive. And I think it's the only place big enough for your flash mob.
Hey, keep it quiet. Flash mobs are supposed to be all secret and stuff until it all goes down.
My lips are mum from here on out. Sealed, I mean.
Good. I can't have you ruining the surprise. But in all seriousness, I really appreciate you being here. It means a lot to me.
Oh, shucks.
Cheering me on and just being your amazing self.
Hell yeah.
I'm honored to call you my friend.
Hey, that's what friends are for. I got your back. Speaking of being friends, you want to help me get the word out about Funplex Fest? I was hoping you'd volunteer.
For you? I got you. But it'll have to wait until after the flash mob. We should be starting any minute now.
Just waiting for my leads to show up. While I stand next to Teo, I note several familiar faces from the Funplex. Looks like most of the Showtime stage regulars showed up to support Teo. Most of them are chatting amongst themselves, some playing the various dancing games, while others are waiting for Teo's signal. Speaking of the Dancing King himself, Teo looks like a sheepdog that's lost his herd. He's watching the crowds frantically for his friends, and he's mumbling to himself under his breath. He normally has such a calm and collected air about him. This is completely unlike him. Teo, what's up?
Well,
Oh, just worrying about everything collapsing from underneath me. This whole thing won't work unless I have all the group leaders. And right now, it's just me and my sister. Sister? You never mentioned you had a sister before. Well, you don't really talk about family much, so I felt like it would be impolite to bring it up. Touché. Your sister is one of the dance leaders?
absolutely.
Oh yeah, honestly, she's probably a better dancer than I am. Shot me everything I know about dancing from the Chaz? Is that the Chaz? I don't know. To the moonwalk. When I was a kid, I would watch her dance recitals and be in complete awe. Every turn, step, and movement done with absolute elegance. I can't even come close to comparing to my sister. I'm awful. Hold up just a minute. That's my note. Teo rolls his eyes and lets out an exasperated sigh at my cool dancing pun. Oh, okay, then I don't know how that word's pronounced. You're way more talented than all the others that dance at the Funplex. That's why they chose you as their leader. They look up to you so much, for more than teaching new dogs old tricks. You're kind, Tori, but what you don't understand is that Showtime stage is completely different than traditional dance. You lost me. Like, we were walking along the same point there, then I spotted a candy store and ran off. That's how lost I am. With Showtime stage, you are forced to move within a finite box. You can't glide across the dance floor or jump as high as you want in a grand jeté. While it looks very similar, it's restrictive. Dance is all about freedom of expression, and you don't have that as much in Showtime stage. While I'm not the best dancer, I am good at one thing. What's that? Games.
Exactly.
Games with dancing elements in them, to be exact. Funny enough, my sister doesn't even play dancing games. She's terrible at them, in fact. But she's helped me figure this whole flash mob out, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to be mortified. How bad will it look if 300 people are all prancing around out of sync? Teo holds his hand up to his face in horror, much like the screen painting. When I look at his hands, I can see them shaking. He's doing his best to keep together, but if I don't find a way to calm him down, he's gonna break. I'm gonna hug him! Yeah. Nothing makes me feel more at ease than a hug. Just being comforted is enough to make all my worries melt away. Maybe that's all Teo needs. Do you need a hug? I can give you a hug. Yes, please. I thought you'd never ask. I open my arms and give Teo a friendly hug. I can feel his whole body relax, and he lets out a big, long sigh. This is all it takes. I should be worried more often to get more of these Tori hugs. Teo looks way more relaxed now. He's laughing and smiling like he normally does.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'm so ready for this now. Oh, Tori, can you excuse me for a minute? I see my peeps. That's such a 2000s thing that I always said. I nod and he dashes off towards a group of people. They're all huddled together, and when Teo approaches, they all give him hugs and high fives. Everyone is in great spirits as they're getting ready for the big moment. Teo grabs his boombox from where he left it earlier, makes his way up to the main stage. As soon as his foot touches the platform, the Funplex crew who had commandeered Showtime stage quickly springs into action. One of them runs behind the Showtime stage cabinet and unplugs it from the wall. The bouncy Euro pop that was playing is replaced with dead silence. A collective gasp comes from the atrium. The other crew members pull out a microphone from a nearby pack and hands it to Teo. He plugs the cord into the back of his boombox and brings it in close to his mouth. Max, are you ready for me to rock your body? There are cheers from the crowd as all the dancers are ready to get on with the flash mob. The delight of the crowd is feeding Teo's energy, and he's gulping it up. Don't turn away, not even for a second. Teo looks directly at me and winks. Watch me now. Teo begins with a snap, and everyone falls into place. As Teo moves his body, everyone in the audience starts to mimic him. Slowly, more people join in, group of people after group of people. Soon the entire room is dancing, moving together like a school of fish. But way more upbeat and not getting eaten by sharks. The music pumps into the atrium and everyone is feeling it. Teo leads the flash mob from the stage, and he's putting his entire spirit in it. He's smiling from ear to ear as he hits every beat with utter precision. The con-goers who aren't participating in the flash mob have pulled out their phones and are recording the whole thing. Gamers are exchanging gossip and taking pictures. I'm sure I'll be reading all about this all over social media. Actually, I should probably post something about this on our face wall. Pull out my phone like everyone else and snap a few pics and video clips. Flash mob itself didn't last more than a few minutes, and in a dramatic end, Teo jumps off the stage and into the crowd. People immediately part for Teo as he strolls deeper into the middle of the masses. The same Funplex crew members that helped earlier are following Teo with his boombox. Once Teo makes it to the center of the crowd, he motions for his friends to put it down. Once again, he brings the mic up. Well, Did you like it? Once again, cheers erupt from the throng of dancers. Teo claps along with all the bystanders. Thank you. Thank you, Max. You are too sweet. You know, I couldn't have done this whole thing without the help of my friend Tori. More clapping and shouting. Only this time, it's for me. She gave me encouragement when I needed it most. Tori, why don't you come here for a minute? No. Please, no. Me? I point to myself. No, the other Tori standing behind you. Get your buns over here. Don't say that. Feel a couple of people lightly push me towards Teo. Hesitantly, I made my way over them. I can't believe I wore this to a convention. It was weird to be surrounded by that many people, but being next to Teo made me feel comfortable about the whole situation. It's good to have backup. Everyone, give it up for Tori! More happy people cheer for me. Now, I really want you all to listen to her. Like, really listen. It's an important announcement. Oh no, dear God. Teo hands me the mic and leans in next to me, whispering in my ear. You wanted help with Funplex Fest, right? Well, you've got the floor. Go ahead and tell everyone about it. Looking out at the masses, my chest felt tight, and I could feel a bead of sweat run down my back. Teo smiled at me earnestly, waiting for me to speak to everyone. This was it, wasn't it? This is what I had been asking for? To go out and do something for myself? Couldn't back down now. I had to do this for myself. I was going to prove to myself that I am not a duplication of my family. I can break the mold. Wow. Huh? Took a deep breath and mustered every ounce of confidence I could find hiding within. I took the mic in my hand, blinked once, and began to speak. How's everyone enjoying their Max? Good amount of wooing and cheering came from those around me. Step 1, always get the audience on your side. What about that flash mob, though? Fantastic, right? I know you're all having such a great time, and why let it end after today? Next weekend, Francine's Arcade Funplex at the Twin Pines Mall is going to be putting on a special event, and it's going to be one hell of a time. It's called Funplex Fest, and we need your help to make it as good, if not better, than Max. Teo leans in to play the part of my co-MC.
Sure.
You had me at special event. Tell me more. The Funplex is a growing and humble arcade, but packed with the best games around and the best gamers around. It's our first big event, and we need your help to make it rock. We're having a Fist of Discomfort tournament, an expedition event to break the world record high score of Whoopi's Magical Maze. High score competitions on every game in the arcade all day long, and we'll be revealing a brand new mystery game, a rarity you won't believe. But that's not all, right, Tori? Nope, Showtime Stage is a huge part of the Funplex, and we owe Teo our thanks for that. As you know, he's cultivated this community to what it is today. To celebrate that, we want to offer the exclusive event to all you dancers out there. The special dancing event at Funplex Fest will be, drumroll please. Teo starts slapping his hands on his thighs to imitate a drum. Fuck. Is it a tournament? Free play for the entire event? Free play would lose a lot of money, but bring in a lot of people. A stage tournament would bring in money, but not a lot of people. Live DJ is the boring result. It's one machine. Their Showtime Stage community spends so much money on their game, and it's not cheap. What better way to give back to them by having them not pay for the game for the entire day? I'm sure Gavin won't mind. You don't have to spend a single token on Showtime Stage for all of the Funplex Fest. Another roar from everyone in the atrium. It's so loud that I swear the windows shook. Fantastic! Everything you said sounds just amazing. I know I'll be there. You better. Wonderful, and I hope to see all of your faces out there next weekend. Point to as many people around me as I can. There were several more shouts, and then naturally the crowd started to disperse. As Teo and I were cleaning up after the flash mob, my phone in my pocket started going off. First, there was just a couple of vibrations, but before I could realize what was happening, my phone started seizing. What the? Pulled my phone out of my pocket, and then I looked at the Funplex face wall. Had over 1,000 likes. No, really, what? The hell? Beep, beep, can I interrupt? I might have borrowed the pictures and video clips you snapped earlier and applied the proper hashtags and links to Funplex social media accounts.
Good work.
Since the content went live, activity on the Funplex face wall has increased 700%. The buzz about Funplex Fest is off the scale. Note to self, invent a new scale. Quickly scanned my own face wall, and even people I knew who weren't arcaders were talking up a storm about it. I also heard people around me discussing it. I can't wait till next weekend. That Funplex Fest thing sounds like a blast. I am totally going to that Funplex place. What's this mystery game they mentioned? It was great to hear all the buzz around the atrium, and Iris really helped with the social media aspect. Can't believe it was that easy. Sometimes that's all it takes. That was great fun, but I'm totally exhausted. Me too. But you didn't dance. Hey, I faced my fears in front of several hundred people. If that's not exhausting, then I don't know what is. Plus, I'm hungry. You could always go over to one of the food vendors and pay $12 for overly salted french fries. Well, there goes my appetite. You know, Gavin and Naomi are running a pop-up arcade for the Funplex, along with some other local arcades in Albee. Could always pop by there for a breather with some friends. How about I meet you there later? I need to debrief with the other leads first. Sounds good. Be seeing you. I wave bye to Teo as I make my way toward Exhibit Hall B, on the lookout for Gavin's serious face, or Naomi's kind one. Let's see. Exhibit Hall B. It's very much resembles Exhibit Hall A, where I started my day. Industry types, dealers, swag, crowds. But there's definitely more actual arcade games here, as local places have set up arcades all over the place. It's hard to notice the smaller displays with the giant garish Deco's Palace display eating up the center, but I managed to crawl my way around the edges to find... Well, now pretty much everybody else in the crew, save for Francine. Teo and Ashley are still off hanging out with their respective communities. I've got some time. Maybe I can bend someone's ear meanwhile. Let's see, what's everybody doing right now? Reading the news. Naomi's fixing up a busted Galaga. That feels like the wrong pronunciation. Always Naomi. Naomi looks totally frustrated, with the monitor chassis for her game partially removed so she can tinker with it. There's definitely net glow, so the net can't be cracked. So why am I getting nothing at all? Hey, Naomi? Oh, Tori! Sorry, I was wrapped up in my own little world there. What's up? I'm taking a break, and as now, you are on a break as well. That's sweet, but I really can't. You're getting nowhere with that game. Take a break. Consider it in order. I guess I'm on a break then. Cool. You want to get away from the crowd for a bit? Find a quiet corner and hang out? Decompress a bit?
Ugh.
Absolutely. I can busy myself with the games, but I hate the crowds. Always have. Every year I go to Max. Naomi reaches out and grabs my hand before I can object, and drags us off to a semi-quiet little niche between two display booths. Good for private conversation. Okay, no broken games, no chattering strangers. Good. Honestly, I love my retro games, but I wish they'd break down less often. All this 1980X tech is fun to play with, except when downtime is lost profits. Okay, so I gotta know, why the fixation on retro games? I'm not saying they aren't cool, it's just not something folks our age are usually into, right? Okay, also folks our age? Don't say folks our age.
I'd contest that with posts by 20-somethings on classic game collector sites. But you're really asking why I'm into this stuff. And hey, what's not to love? The cool glow of a cathode ray tube, blooming color through the scan lines, the simple and clean pixel art style. One stick, a few buttons, easy to learn, hard to master. You can keep your crazy networked real-time strategy beat-em-up esports fighter thingies. Give me a maze, or a spaceship, or a bunch of dots any day.
I've probably heard her voice acting before, but she isn't exactly what I thought her voice would be. She's more nasally, much more like preppy than I expected. Or a princess to rescue and turtles to jump on? Right, well, the more jumping, the rescuing. Although I do like the princess rescuing the prince and Wyvern Keep. Good pick, Tori. Weren't you pulling for me to pick phrase invaders? Yeah, but I can dig Wyvern Keep too. So how'd you get started with retro games? Well, I know the cliche answer is I had an older brother who introduced me to games, but that's basically the truth. Sort of indirectly, I guess. For a whole summer, my jerk of a brother was in charge of babysitting me and being a teenager, and he didn't want to bother his friends. Wait, he didn't want to bother. He wanted to go to the arcade and hang out with his friends. Wow, thank you for the sub. The follow, not sub. We don't have subs. Thank you for the follow. So he dragged little old me with him to the arcade, gave me a fistful of tokens, and told me to go keep myself busy. At first, I played what all kids play. Ticket games, prize games, but I got bored with it fast, realizing I wasn't winning much of anything. Honestly, kids are smart, right? They gotta realize they're being scammed. You want to toy with all your heart. Don't be so hard on kids. I've worked the floor for weeks. I've seen how fixated a kid can get on some high-ticket plushie. When you've made up your mind and already spent piles of tokens, well, you gotta keep going. Otherwise, you have to admit it wasn't worth it. That's true. I hyper-fixated on, I really got my heart set on stuff at this, mom-and-pop Chuck E. Cheese that I live near. And it made my family for weeks would have to help earn tickets so that I could get it and stop obsessing over it. Anyways, I had a Barbie that's hair flipped around and it had 2 different colors. Yeah, it's cruel. The sunk cost fallacy. I wish I could just give those kids the toy they want, or I don't know, sell it, but no way Gavin would allow that. Plus, well, there was one other problem with the ticket game area. Too many kids. Just way too many kids. I don't know. From schools I didn't go to. I was too timid to ask someone to leave a game I wanted to play, or even to hover around, worried they might talk to me. I'm really not good with strangers. Huge crowds of them. Once I get to know someone, well, they're not a stranger. That's different. Like you. I got to know you quickly enough. Considering she gave me her lunch on day 1, quickly indeed. But there was one area of the arcade which had next to nobody playing games, where I didn't need to put a quarter up and wait in line, where everything was fun. Retro games? Exactly. Only a few older guys back there. I could play anything I wanted. Every game was a single token, and it was also amazingly cool and flashy and colorful, and oh, it was paradise. Those games were my new best friends. Now I look forward to my jerk of a brother abandoning me in the arcade to go play fighting games. Eventually, summer vacation ended and it was back to school, but I kept visiting arcades, especially ones with good retro collections. So that's how I got into classic arcade games. No younger alone, a bunch of older games. Scenes anyway. Favorites in particular. So what games did you play at that arcade? Any standouts in your memory? Of course! Pac-Man, Dig Dug, all the standards. But I loved Pingo. Cute little penguin kicking ice blocks around. You had to really think ahead to play that game well, too. Took skill. Found a plushy penguin once with red fur at a toy store. Bought it immediately. Made a purple bow tie for it. That was my Pingo plushie. It's still in my workshop, in fact. The plushie, not the game. I wish we had the game. I know it's a little weird for me not to be interested in newer games. And it's not like new games are universally awful. But I like what I like. I love what I love. I do what I love for a living. How cool is that? As long as the Funplex stays open and keeps its retro spirit bright, I'll be happy. I am not an actor. I did acting when I was very young, but not really. Well, event manager Tori will see to it that we keep our doors open. That's why I am here at Max, to make this event the big deal it deserves to be. Well, thank you. I try a little bit. I also have a lot of film friends. Thanks so much for that. It's no good at the meet and greet stuff. I think we should both get back to what we do best. For the glory of the Funplex. For the glory of the Funplex. Oh, that's cool. A lot of my friends went to film school. Like, a lot. The two of us make our way back to the mini Funplex. Her to resume tinkering, me to catch up with Teo and Ashley again. My current status? Sitting. And enjoying it. Took a few minutes of searching and stalking, but eventually I found an open seat in the pop-up arcade. While the sit is satisfying, the rest of everything else is miserable. My feet are sore from walking all over, and I don't remember the last time I ate. I feel dehydrated, and I have a slight headache from all the noise. And there are still 4 more hours of Max left. Oh, if Gavin saw me in my current state. Leaning back, arms at my side, completely exhausted. I can picture it clearly. He'd be looming over me with his dark, unfettered eyes. He would lean in close and frown, grumbling. He'd say, "Tori, may I remind you, these seats are for patrons only." I audibly sighed just thinking about it. As luck would have it, though, Gavin and Naomi are huddled over the Galaga cabinet, trying to figure out why the monitor is not working. Freedom. My buns are experiencing the best freedom has to offer. And while my body feels like it could collapse at any moment, I do feel good about it. Right? Getting the word about Funplex Fest was great. Seeing people's faces light up with excitement is why I'm really here. Plus, watching Teo inspire the crowd was an added bonus. His energy is infectious. I smiled to myself. The pain in my heels and the grumbling in my tummy. Worth it. While enjoying the respite, I let my eyes close for a moment, and of course, the second I do that, I hear footfalls closing in. It really does understand what it's like to run a booth at PAX. Exhausting. There you are, Tori. We've been looking all over for you. But we were specifically going to meet back up here, at the Funplex pop-up arcade. Yes, but we didn't expect you to be tucked in the darkest corner of the arcade. Hiding from Gavin. He'll put me to work if he sees me. Hiding behind the pinball machines is probably not the smartest choice then. You know how much he loves pinball. Every spare moment he thinks no one is watching him is spent getting that high score. I have so many candid pictures on my phone of him playing pinball. You have to show me, like right now. Ha, yes. His concentration face is so cute. Before I can even react, Ashley has her phone out and is scrolling through pictures of Gavin. Ahem. Both look up at me guilty. Don't we have more important matters? Max is over in a few hours, and we will have a lot of work left to do. You're right, Tori. Please don't tell Gavin. Your secret's safe with me. Right. So business time. I think I got something. Go on. I have a friend, and she's an indie arcade developer. The new title she's been working on is amazing. It's got co-op, it's got competition, it's got magical schoolgirls. Now you're talking. It's got it all. Wait, I'm pretty sure I've heard of this game. Is it called Magical Moon Cuties? Yeah, that's the one. She's thinking about premiering it at Funplex Fest. That would be dope.
Oh my gosh!
It would be cooler than cool. Sounds interesting enough. Might make for another fun game for people to play. Definitely. My friend is somewhat renowned in the indie scene, and the game's been in development for years. I'm sure it would create some buzz, at least. Are you kidding, Teo? We'd be the talk of the arcade world. I do like being the talk of the world-sized things. Let's go check it out. I stand up, invigorated by the news. As I start walking back towards the hall with Teo, I hear a call from behind me. Wait. I turn around and see Ashley standing there, fidgeting. Her green eyes are darting back and forth nervously. Ashley? I, too, have a plan. She motions for us to come back towards her, which we do. What's your idea, Ashley? She puts an arm around Teo and the other one around me, huddling the three of us together. So what I'm proposing might not be the most legal course of action. Do I even want to know? You've seen the huge monitors hanging from the ceiling in the middle of all the major halls, right? How could I miss them? They're constantly bombarding us with ads and false hopes of high-quality convention food. No matter how amazingly tempting that $9 hot dog looks on the big screen, don't even think about it. Exactly my point. Everyone is looking at it. I know a way to sneak into the back area. All we have to do is break into the main communication center and upload the flyer Tori made into the rotation.
Whoa!
You want to do what? Shh, keep your voice down, Teo. Unless you want to get arrested for being an accomplice. It's a genius plan. Everyone on the Max will see our name in lights. Okay, so yeah, that's a less than legal way of getting the word out. But I have to admit, you've got me intrigued. And it'd work, but I don't know. Trust me.
What about...
Of course, we need to go in disguise. I'm already nicely disguised. But Tori would need to switch into something way more distracting. Why more distracting, exactly? To distract from your face, of course. What I'm trying to say is people remember the costume, not the person wearing it. I've got the perfect maid costume for you. It's from Melee Maidens. Same thing my costume's from. A maid costume? You want to put me in a maid costume. It'll be fun, and just the ticket for keeping people from recognizing you. But if you don't want to do it, that's fine. I suggest going with Teo instead, letting me take care of the advertising myself. It's cool. I can do it. Totally up to you, though. I think you'd look super cute as a maid. Let's not forget about Magical Moon Cooties. I'd suggest you come with me instead. Far safer. Both options are valid, honestly. Splashy advertising would certainly drive foot traffic, even if getting up there would be dodgy. Importantly, Iris could help us do it safely without anyone noticing. Safer than Ashley going off on her own to try this inadvisable stunt. But a highly anticipated indie title might do the trick and result in far less jail time. Do I do the heist, or do I go get Magical Moon Cuties? It's a conundrum, and I do not know. Maid costume? Magical Moon Cuties. Teo, Ashley. I think I should do a heist. I don't want Ashley to go to jail. Let's do the heist. Running in disguise doesn't involve talking to strangers, and sounds like more fun than battling my way through more sweaty, pulsating crowds. Can't honestly say I expected to be doing this when I woke up this morning, but... Maid costume. Right, okay, let's do this. Ashley hands over the elegant maid costume, which is conveniently exactly my size. As for Teo, since he is already friends with the indie arcade developer, Teo's got an in on recruiting her for Funplex Fest. He doesn't really need me. Teo, I have complete confidence in you. Lay it real thick, you know, play coy, say all the right words, wink a whole bunch. I demonstrate a big wink, using my entire face to show mouth done. Oh my, is that how you entice people you're interested in? Let's leave the flirting to me, shall we, Tori? You're just jealous you don't have these mad skills. I mean skizzles with a Z, like the cool kids say. Uh-huh. Sure. Don't get into too much trouble without me. I don't want to see you on an episode of Cops tonight. I promise nothing, Teo. Good luck. I don't need luck. And don't forget to snatch a photo of Tori in the maid costume for me. You know it. I'm standing right here. I can hear your every word. Peace. and the 3 went down to 2. I looked over at Ashley, her expression brimming with excitement. Maybe even too much excitement. Had I made the right choice? I quickly scanned my memories from the various cop and lawyer dramas I'd seen. What was the punishment for breaking and entering, trespassing, and tampering with equipment? Couldn't be more than, 10 years? Or possibly death. But it's too late to go back now. I had dug my own grave. Perhaps literally with Ashley. Welp, I'm as ready as I'll ever be. That's the spirit. So, what exactly is our plan? I'm so happy you asked. You see, that door next to the restrooms across the expo hall, the one that has a sign that specifically states authorized personnel only? That's the one. Tori is worried now. Trust me. My trust wavers as she began rifling through her bag and removed a rolled up poster board. As Ashley unraveled it, I noticed that it looked oddly like blueprints. No, it was blueprints. Blueprints of the entire convention center. How? The what? Why? Listen, all we have to do is go through these doors, snake our way along the corridors, and we're there. Her finger traced the exact route as she talked me through it. The communication center should be at the end of that passageway. Easy, right? Yep, easier. Easier than breaking the right stick on the Killer Instinct cabinet at the Funplex. Oh man, Naomi is always fixing that machine. It never works properly.
First, we'll get you changed. We can use the bathrooms for that. I'll play lookout while you get your maid on.
Her voice is goofier than I expected. Like, I expected her voice and Naomi's voices to be switched, basically. Yeah. So let me get this straight. Before I go in and change, someone spots us while we're in disguises. We just strip down and ditch the costumes? Yeah, I know. Sometimes there are long lines.
One does not simply ditch the cosplay. We would change out of the costumes, hastily of course, and stash them in a secret safe place until we could retrieve them again.
Note to self, do not talk about disregarding Ashley's cosplay. Ever. Roger that. Leaving disguises and hiding spots. Make sure nothing bad happens to them.
Great! Now get in the bathroom and suit up for battle. Time's a-wastin'.
I struggled to figure out what all the clasps and what velcros to what, but Ashley took the time to explain the basics through the closed stall door. And when I emerged...
Oh my!
Squee! You look so cute! Take a good look at yourself in the mirror. She looks cuter as a butler than I look as a maid. That is a very awkward maid outfit. Okay. This is definitely not my style, but it'll suffice. Besides, the point is for it to be a disguise. Not on the cover of a fashion magazine. I can live with this. Meanwhile, I have bright pink hair. Perfection. And now we commence with part 2. Ashley looks both ways before we exit the restroom. People don't even seem fazed by us either. I guess seeing a maid and a butler at a convention is normal? In other words, it actually is the perfect disguise. We fit in by sticking out. Go figure. We shuffle back to the expo hall of Max and stand in front of the looming doors with the authorized personnel only sign. The big red letters bore deep into my soul, reminding me of its unlawfulness in breaking the rules. I'm no rule breaker. I don't like any of these options. Rule schmoosh, let me through. I'm no rule breaker. Meh. Hang on, is there another way? Rule schmoles! Some red letters aren't gonna hold me back. I've been breaking rules my entire life. Have you, though? Would you consider eating pizza bagels every day breaking the rules of humanity? Oh gosh, yes. You are a most fearsome lawbreaker. Alright. Abdullah the Butcher, let's go. Ashley grabs my hand and pushes onward through the door like she owns the place. Closing my eyes tightly as I realize she's dragging me onto the other side. Confidence is key, Tori. As the door closes behind me, I carefully open my eyes. We're alone. No big bad boss monster looms back here. No flashing lights or laser beam mazes we have to crawl through. It's just some industrial-style back hallway, simple brick walls, venting pipes overhead, and endless concrete floors. I'm honestly a little disappointed with how mundane it all is. Is this really it? These are just the access halls and rooms for employees to use, so they don't have to travel across the con floor. Nothing fancy. What exactly were you expecting? A horde of security guards, all with riot gear, maybe some intricate obstacle course. And an eye scanner to confirm identification. Now who has the overactive imagination? Sorry to burst your bubble, but nothing like that back here. Just you, me, and Iris.
Beep beep.
Beep beep. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Tori. Are you ready for Operation Hot Dog Takedown? Yes, sir, Ashley, sir. Whoa. What is this Operation Warm Weenies thing? And Iris, why are you and Ashley in cahoots without me?
My sources say yes.
Ashley sent me all of the information earlier. A copy of the flyer and her plans for removing all the other ads on the Jumbotrons. I am still unclear on hot dogs and why humans crave them, however. I mean, why would you want compressed big parts when pizza's on a... Not now, Iris. Between my computer skills and Iris, we've got everything we need to hack into the mainframe. She's going to be a great help. Wait, Max has a mainframe? And is the mainframe that giant room-sized wall of hardware with spinning tape drives and stuff? Nah, nothing like that. You'll see soon enough. According to the Max floor layout and the convention center blueprints, it should be this way. Ashley and I tiptoe our way closer to the communications room, taking our time to listen for footsteps and other noises. And nothing eventful happens. That is, until we round the first bend. We both spot a Max enforcer. This is just PAX! We both spot a Max enforcer leaning up against the wall. Luckily, his attention is diverted into furiously typing on his cell phone. We quickly duck back around the corner and collect our thoughts in hushed voices. What do we do now? We can't just walk down the hallway. True, our path is blocked momentarily, but we can find a way past this. There might be another route to take. Let's consult the blueprints. As we start to look, we hear footsteps. Bad word. Don't think we have time for that, Ashley. The steps get louder and louder as he approaches us. He's coming straight down the hall towards us. There has to be something we can do. Quickly scan our surroundings and see a broken off small shard of the concrete floor and a shallow indent in the wall across from it. We have to act now. Ashley and I both glance over at the almost closet-like nook across from us, then back at each other, then once more back at the wall. Like we had a Vulcan mind melt earlier, we both dart over towards it. There's barely just enough room for both of us to squeeze into the recess together. Squished up against one another, we both avoid direct eye contact to make the whole thing less awkward. The moment passes, however, when the Max Enforcer walks right by us without noticing us. We both breathe a sigh of relief before we slink around the corner, avoiding the sentry's gaze. We aren't out of the woods yet. Hoping to avoid any more sentinels, we scurried the rest of the way until we reached the door to the communications room. We could tell we were at the correct place because of the sign over it that read communications room, unless it was a clever ruse. We did it! That was some quick thinking back there, Tori. Now all we have to do is reach down, grabbing hold of the door, and turn. Locked? Locked. Well, drat. Now where are we going to find the key? Who even has the key? Do we need to pickpocket a staffer? I don't know how to pickpocket anyone. I got this one, Tori. Stunned, I watch as Ashley removes a bobby pin from her wig, begins to pick the lock on the door. She isn't wearing a wig. What? I thought that was all movie magic. You can really pick a lock with a simple hair accessory, right? Watch me. I do just that. She straightens out the bobby pin and then bends and twists it until it breaks in two, making the newly crafted metal sticks. She inserts them both into the lock and begins fiddling with it. A mere matter of minutes, I hear a click. And that's how you pick a lock. Next time I lock myself out of my apartment, I'm calling you instead of a locksmith. Of course. I'll drop what I'm doing and come right over. I can't have my very good friend cold and alone outside of her apartment. Ashley smiles brightly as she easily opens the door to the communications room. It's dark, save for the glow from several computer monitors. Honestly, it looks exactly like the break room from Funplex, but any generic backstage worker area probably looks like this. The mainframe is really just some computers and security monitors showing different parts of Max, each camera focusing on various angles of the main halls. Now what do we have here? Ashley turns around one of the swivel chairs and sits down in it, in front of the computer desk. Operation Hot Dog Takedown is underway! As if she's working this job for several years, she begins clacking away at the keyboard. Alright, let's see what happens when you open this. Aha! Yes, perfect! It appears to be a fairly simple data store. Nice of them to name it Jumbotron. That really cuts down on the sleuthing. Excellent. I can see all the ads and information they rotate through. This shouldn't be a problem. Okay, now I need Iris.
Iris online.
Here I am! We'll plug in Iris into the main computer. Hand me your phone. This won't hurt Iris, right? Or nuke my phone? I'm on my second phone by this point. Relax, I'm a super duper hacker cutie. I know what I'm doing. I hand over my phone and Iris along with it. Ashley plugs Iris in, and the magic begins. Hacking the Gibson now! Lowering firewalls, phasing packet switch, interlock.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
This may take some time. So, do we just sit around or...
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your patience. The inner tubes are now unclogged. We're in. Great. Now we just switch out all the hot dog ads for the flyer of Funplex Fest, and we can be on our merry way. Understood! That doesn't sound so bad. This is actually, dare I say it, somewhat fun. Huh, that's odd. Fun just stopped. I don't like odd. What's odd? What? It appears as though an unidentified hacker has been here before us. I could follow their trail if you would like. I'm sure it's just one of the employees who, lost their password and had to poke their way in. I'm not worried. Plus, we gotta get moving. Sure thing. The hot dog ads are removed from the Jumbotron rotation and replaced with ads for Funplex Fest.
What about...
Iris, while you're in there, can you take out all the ads for Deco's Palace too, just for good measure? Sure thing! Ashley revolves on the chair and turns back to face me. See, that was... Ashley is interrupted by a sudden burst of awful noise. Quickly, she turns around the swivel chair to see big red letters flash across the screen. Intruder detected. What does that mean, Ashley? Why would there be an intruder? Tori, pretty sure we are the intruder. That's bad, right? It's not good. This is worse than good. It means the convention center's security system knows we're here and it knows we're altering their program. It's trying to thwart us. So yeah, not good is an accurate portrayal of our situation. Ugh, if only I was better at this, we wouldn't be in such a mess. As Iris and Ashley explained what was happening, I saw a timer pop up underneath the screen that kept flashing intruder detected. I was counting down from 5 minutes. Ashley, Iris pointed to the new problem. What the? Once the flyer was uploaded, it triggered a security warning. I think the hacker who came through here before sort of half-tripped it, so I didn't notice in time. Oops!
Poops.
Why does this program even trigger a security warning? It's literally for ads. All we're doing is uploading a new ad. Relax, everything is fine. We just need to input the administrator password to shut off the timer. I don't actually know the administrator password. I sort of slipped in around it to upload the ad, but we can't turn this off without actual credentials.
So, now it's a race against time. What would the person who runs this place use as a password?
Completely random sequence of lowercase and uppercase letters. numbers and punctuation that we'd never actually guess even if given a million years. I've been running a series of randomized characters in brute force attempt ever since we started talking, but nothing yet.
It's all psychology. We just have to get inside their head. Let's see. Maybe I could go check their social media account, learn their pet's first name, combine that with their kid's birthday.
That's when I pluck a little yellow square from the edge of the monitor that reads P455W0RD. Here it is.
Yeah, well, okay, that works too.
Few keystrokes later and the alarm stopped cold.
Yes!
Ooh, looky! It's all fuzzy and stuff. But I can see our flyer up on the monitors. We did it. Yeah, we did it. Wait, we did it? Our Funplex is all over those screens. They'll know who's responsible. We'll all get the death penalty. How did I not see this obvious hole in my logic before? Relax. 2 words. Plausible deniability. It's the same flyer that's on the Funplex's website already. Anybody could have uploaded it. Without evidence, they can't prove nothing. In fact, they'll find proof someone else was hacking the system earlier today, which means whoever that was, they'll get the blame. Okay, no death penalty. I can relax. Somewhat. Besides, we did it. Well, Iris and Ashley did it. Mostly. Admittedly, Iris was the brawn and Ashley was the brain. Or maybe it was the other way around. Either way, I'm completely stupefied. Since when is Ashley a tech wizard? Okay, I think we better get out of here, just in case. All those in favor of evacuation? Aye. Aye! We quickly abandoned ship, retreating back through the maze of tunnels to one of the main halls of Max, vanishing into the crowd. Hiccup.
Oh, wow!
Wow, check out the screens! Our ads on all of them. Looking up, I can see our handiwork, with my own 2 eyes. No more hot dogs, no more Deco's Palace, just Funplex propaganda. As I take in our moment of glory, I begin listening to the people surrounding us. Oh hey, that's a new thing on the Jumbotron. Funplex Fest. Sounds interesting. That's a lot of tournaments too. We should check it out. How's it that I've lived within spitting distance of a real arcade and never noticed? I am so there. Do you hear that, Ashley? Sounds like we killed it. Yes, we did. I'm completely amazed at Ashley's skills back there. She was keeping up the pace with Iris and was about to communicate with her on a level I'll never know. How did you know what to help Iris with? I've read a lot of books and watched a ton of tutorials on various electronics. Also, there's a lot of high-tech stuff you wouldn't expect that goes into some cosplay. I went through a phase in high school where I was really obsessed with cutting-edge electronics and technology. My group of friends and I got together during lunches, and we'd just sit around in homeroom and talk tech. In fact, that's what we called it, Tech Talk. We were all silly children at that point, watching too many hacker movies. One thing led to another, and we started wanting to know more. I think I was the only one who took it seriously, though. I even dressed up in cyberpunk fashion. I was completely obsessed. It became my passion for a good while. Eventually, however, everyone grew out of it. Except me. And then they all started mocking me for it, making fun of my punk outfits or the fact that I spent all my time researching things like Arduinos and Raspberry Pi kits. It was awful. Some of my good friends, who I trusted, completely turned on me. I began questioning myself, and who I was, and who I really wanted to be. Did I want to be this badass cyberpunk technophile, or did I want to follow my friends into the next big infatuation? I regret it to this day, but I gave up on my dreams and followed my friends instead. At that time, they were what I had to believe in. Only now am I getting back into tech. Due to the always changing culture of cosplay, people use LEDs and robotics to make their weapons more badass, or to have animated wings. I always figured cosplay was, sewing and arts and crafts. It is, but it's cross-disciplinary. You haven't even seen some of the more intensely complicated costumes I've made. Which reminds me of a certain someone going on about how arcade games involve electrical engineering, programming, graphic design, and even carpentry. Why don't you talk shop more with Naomi then? Huh? She's a techie, you're a techie. Seems like there should be plenty of overlap, but I've never seen you two talking electronics. I figured there wasn't really any overlap. the kind of tech that enhances cosplay was invented after 1990X. Not her thing. I would like more friends to bounce some tech ideas off of. Who knows? Maybe we can both teach each other something new.
Amazing.
You know, I'm proud of myself. I took all that odd knowledge and made it come through for us today. Think of what we accomplished. You should be proud. You worked hard. As for me, I barely helped, but my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Well, you can relax now. It's all over. You done good. It was at that moment I realized how exhausted I was. A caper of that magnitude drained me of all the energy I had left, which wasn't a lot to begin with. Well, I'm officially pooped, ready to change clothes and go home. Me too. My head is all itchy from this wig, and I can't wait to remove all this makeup, and of course soak my feet in a hot bath. Ashley, thanks for your help with the Funplex Fest today. I really appreciate it. 'Twas my pleasure. And now I can't wait to go back to the Funplex tomorrow and tell everyone about our escapade. Just don't tell the police, or someone with a badge. In fact, just don't tell anyone in a uniform. You worry too much, Tori. You should go home, relax and revel in your success. Ashley was right after all. I deserve a good pat on the back. You know what? I will. The gasp. Tori is actually going to listen to my advice? Good, good. I'll see you next time, friend. See you back at the arcade, Ashley. With our pleasantries exchanged, Ashley and I parted ways on the Max floor, both equally tired and happy. All in all, a successful day.
Beep beep.
Beep beep, Tori, you have a new text message! It was a tough sell without you there, but fortunately, Michelle and I go way back. Magical Moon Cuties will debut at Funplex Fest. Huh, glad he was able to pull it off without me. You should see the size of Teo's social web. I tried mapping it, and wow, it just keeps going and going. Yours, in contrast, is, petite. Adorably so. Right, time to head home. I promised I would meet Juniper just outside the main exit of the hall. That's exactly where I was headed. The rush of fresh air hit me as I pushed the double glass doors open. It was nice, refreshing, and it had a much better smell than the one I had been around all day. I didn't have to wait long until I saw Juniper. She bounced happily up to me. So, how was your first Max, Tori? It was fantastic. The amount of support I got from my friends today was amazing. I know I can always count on them and feel like we bonded closer as friends. Can't wait to go back next year. As to be expected with a convention. Although in your case, you really outdid yourself and got smacked with 300% of what anyone else would have, yeah? How do you figure? Well, most people drop by Max, play some games, maybe attend a panel or two, or do some shopping. They're here to be catered to. You, on the other hand, were doing the catering. And like any good caterer, that means spinning plates and doing 12 different things at once. You found interesting ways to push Funplex Fest and promote the Funplex as a whole. You worked your butt off to do it, so rather than attending Max, you were Max! Sure feels that way. I'm totally drained. Kinda envy you, you know? It sounds like you had some great adventures today, other than designing that flyer. I didn't do that much beyond playing a few games and buying cute t-shirts and stuff. But let me tell you, they are really super cute t-shirts. I'm glad I could support you though, even if it was just, you know, by doodling up a flyer. It's hardly a doodle. Hey, don't sell yourself short. That flyer looks super professional. I mean, no fun Comic Sans, but still pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tori. I really enjoy doing stuff like that. I don't exactly get a lot of opportunities at the office to express myself. Okay, let's get home and get some real rest. We've both earned it. In fact, I say we took it. Juniper, don't. To the max! Hee. Was that a chapter? After that moment of rest, the rest of the evening was a blur. I knew that Juniper and I took the train back home, heated up some pizza bagels, and I safely made it into my comfy bed. I think I was still in shock. At the beginning of this day, I thought that no one was going to know about Funplex Fest. We stuck at a relatively unknown mom-and-pop arcade. But now, it seems like the whole world knows, which is great, but also pretty nerve-wracking. I sighed heavily, letting all my mixed emotions flow over me. There was no turning back now. What I set in motion will stay in motion. It can only get bigger and better from here. At least that's what I'm going to keep telling myself as I drift to sleep. I'm proud of what I accomplished today, and I can't wait to tell everyone at the Fun Plugs about all I've done. I hope they're proud of me too. And before I know it, Fun Plugs Fest will be upon us. Cleared level 3. Look at that, Tayo. Tayo's definitely taking a liking to you. Dance Fever. Pretty basic person. Not bad. I still don't know the points. You're gonna say yes. So, since I have beat this level, I have finished that chapter. That's where I'm going to end this stream, actually. So yeah, thank you for hanging with me. The next stream will be Thursday, so in 2 days, same time. Yes, same time. And I'll be playing ukulele. And if you want to know the stream schedule / just see some memes, you can go there on our Twitter. YouTube has all of our VODs. And then if you want to know what we do as a company, here's our website. It's got information about the company, the team members. Eventually there will be some Pathfinder compatible stuff up on it. And there's a couple game reviews. Yeah. Okay, bye-bye!